ఇట్లా ప్రెస్ అయిపోయి రబ్ అయి మొత్తం అరిగిపోతుంది. సో దానివల్ల ఏం ఎఫెక్ట్ అయిందంటే డిస్క్ ప్లేట్ పోయింది, పిస్టన్ బ్లాక్ అయింది. మొత్తం ఎంత ఖర్చు వచ్చింది కస్టమర్కి? ఇది ఒక 5,000, అదొక 3,000, 8,000, అరౌండ్ 8,000 to 9,000 కస్టమర్ పే చేయాల్సి వస్తుంది. దానికి ఏమవుతుంది, వేరే పార్ట్ కాబట్టి వారంటీ కవర్ ఇచ్చింది.
So depend on use ఉంటుంది మనకు. So mostly 4,000 kilometers is a normal breaker wherein we get
ideal condition.
Yeah, ideal condition.
And now the question will be that why the brake pads are wearing off quickly compared to the normal 150cc motorcycle or non-gear also.
15,000.
Because when it comes to a non-gear, like any particular Activa or any scooter which has a disc plate, that will not wear off quickly. So you might start thinking that is not wearing off, why this is wearing off? Because the diameter of the disc is larger, and at the same time the speed and the weight of the motorcycle, to hold on to it, we have to design in a way where the disc pad should be good enough to hold on to the disc plate. Now for example, if we install a harder material, these are all organic materials which are based on the OEM suggestion. So wherein these disc pads will not basically heat up the disc. At the same time, they will not eat the disc also. So, but then again, the braking efficiency will be at the top notch. Even at 150 speed also, if you're pressurizing the brake brake will not get stuck. And at the same time, you get that kind of a efficiency when you're applying the brake at high speeds. So that has been tested at very high speeds and low speeds. The safety environment and everything checks has been done. So based on that, they have been suggesting one particular brake pad which will be designed for a specific motorcycle.
Okay.
So that will wear and tear will be there, but at the same time, your disc plate will not get, it will not basically get eaten by the disc pads. If you are installing any other disc pad, probably you might be thinking our disc pad cost is this XYZ, and the other market disc pads are XYZ, probably slightly cheaper. But then again, in that the material what they'll be using, it will be metal, copper, everything will be mixed. So the problem will be is you will get a lot of noise. And the disc, probably the pad life will be slightly more than our organic pad, but the disc plate will wear off. The disc plate costs how much?
5,000.
5,000 is the disc plate. So that is something which you have to be very much careful by picking up. We suggest that to take the authorized manufactured OEM disc pads only, not because we want to sell it, not because we want to earn money out of it, but it is for your own good, because sometimes when you install some unwanted disc pads, so that will probably get stuck and the brake can also get locked. So when it gets locked, it will get tumbled up. So that is much more in a serious matter. So disc pads, agar ja raha hai to koi dikkat nahi, it's not at all a problem. But replacing it when it is gone, that is more important. And then again, when we are replacing the disc pads, simultaneously you yourself can also ask the mechanic whether the oil top-up is required or not. क्या हो जाता है, डिस्पैच चेंज हो गया, ऑयल टॉप अप शायद नहीं करे, मोस्टली सजेस्ट करे बट कस्टमर मना कर दिया, तो बिकॉज द ऑयल इज ओल्ड एंड व्हेन यू प्रेसिंग आल्सो यू विल नॉट गेट दैट ब्रेकिंग एफिशिएंसी, यू विल फील देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ क्ले आल्सो. सो तब क्या हो जाएगा, डिस्क के अंदर, डिस्क तो वैसे भी खराब तो हो गई, यू हैव अ कैलिपर आल्सो, इन द कैलिपर यू हैव द पिस्टन्स, सो दैट यू विल हैव टू चेंज इट. देन एज सर सेड 8,000 रुपीस विल बी द cost of that. So there is no problem with the way any particular company disc pad will definitely wear off quickly only compared to a normal disc, which is probably like when it comes to an Activa disc, this is this one. This is almost 270 or 290 which is a larger disc plate. The larger the disc plate is, the better the braking will be. And at the same time, these disc plates, to reduce the temperature, there are also ventilated disc brake where you have holes in between, so that the air should pass through the disc pads. So disc pads replacement, along with that oil replacement, is also very much required. If it's an old oil, caliper is gone.
It has an interval, so we have to change it for the
24,000 kilometers.
Yeah,
like something.
yearly once or
But top up
12,000 kilometers.
For example, frequently you're changing the disc pads. That means the oil is being reached to that higher temperature also. That means when it is reaching, then it will start evaporating also. Then the oil level will keep dropping. So we'll have, that's why whatever the suggestion is there, it is for not something which we are trying to do it. There is always a method, there is always a study, there is always a recommendation from the company, so that the customer should not face anything else going forward.
So I would like to add material also, material what we are using with the dispatch. So now for the Adventure, Scrambler and Roadster customers are having an issue that front brake pads is costing more than the rear brake pads because the material which they are using for the brake pad is different. So the material cost will be also changed when you are taking the high-end bikes and when we are using some synthetic brake pads. So as per the brake pad, the costing also will be changed. The kilometers will be approximately same, but even though some little bit more. But even though the cost will be a problem with the customers that why the cost is very high to the brake pads. So the material also a main reason which will be the costing of the brake pad. And so before going to a ride, so what all things need to be checked? So mainly we have to check the engine oil, coolant level. So before going to a ride, first we will check engine oil. Coolant level. Clutch plate. Accelerator plate. Chain. Air. Tires. Suspension. So to check the engine oil, as you know, there is a right side cover in which we have a point out like what do we say? Glass. There is a glass which in which you can see by keeping your bike in the center stand, or else you can keep for idle for 5 minutes. But you have to start the bike. First, you have to start the bike for just 5 minutes. After starting your bike, the engine oil will be coming to the whole down portion. Bike should be in the straight condition. At that time, the engine oil will be noted down inside the glass. There is a minimum level, maximum level. It should be in between, not on the top, not on the downside. Okay. So coolant level, as I said you, there is 2 tanks. One is above the radiator fan. One is downside. So which we have to check? I said you already. Down one, below one. Because if you are opening the front one, so if it is in the heat condition, it will throw on your face. So be careful when you are opening the front one. So you should not open it and make sure your kids not to open that. Okay. So many of the kids are going and opening it. So customers are bringing to the service center while their kids are playing with the bike, and so they are opening the cap. It will not get opened, but even though there is a mechanism that you have to open the cap. So if they are doing it loose also, that heat coolant will come out. Again, it will burn their hands and everything. So make sure your kids don't go to your bike side, and if they are going also, make sure they don't open the cap. And down reservoir tank is there. So everyone say that why we are not maintaining full coolant inside it. So reservoir tank is only for top upping, like when we will top up in the reservoir tank when it is in the lowest position. So when the coolant is required. So when it required only, it will take upside to the radiator. So it will be in minimum position. So you should not fill up with the coolant with on top up. So with top position. So it will drain it. If you are doing it also, it will drain all the coolant. So it will maintain up to maximum level. So check coolant level also. I'll show you in the practical section. So clutch plate. So gear shifting hard only. So unable to shift the gears. There is a lot of sound in the gears. So that may be a problem of the clutch play also. I'll show you how to maintain it. So there is a customer play adjustments thing also at the clutch area. So I'll show you that how to adjust it. So accelerator play I'll show you, and chain, mainly chain. So most of the customers are not maintaining their chains. Chain clean, chain lubrication, not doing the chain lubrication every 500 kilometers or every 1 week. If you are not maintaining it, so your chain wear and tear, it is a wear and tear part. Again it will wear out very fast. Again it will get stuck somewhere else, or else it will get rusted. So sound will come from the chain side, like it will come every time. So whenever you are cleaning for the washing, you make sure that you clean your chain and you lubricate it. Every 500 kilometers and every week, if you are doing it, it will be very efficient and it will be very good life to your chain.
So
pockets.
first, do we have to lube and then give it to a wash, or first?
First we have to clean. First we have to
wash
clean.
and Wash.
Wash.
Yeah, washing also we have to do first washing. There is C1 cleaner, C1, C2. So to remove all the
Before washing, we have to apply C1. Chain
C1.
cleaner.
Okay, it's not just about chain. Whole body wash. If you are giving the vehicle for a whole body wash, do you have to lube first and then give it to a wash, or else we'll have
First
to
clean. First we have to clean.
No, you are just concentrating on chain. What
Yeah.
I'm saying is, if you are giving vehicle for a body wash,
Mhm.
do we have to lube the chain first and give it to a body wash, or body wash?
After washing we have
Yeah,
to lube
that's
it.
what-
Yeah.
that's what.
First we have to clean it.
Yeah.
After we can do the washing. So while cleaning also you maintain C1 itself because it will remove the rust and every the dirt particles from
What should
the
we maintain?
C1 chain clean.
Okay.
Chain clean is there, chain lube is there.
Okay.
Two are there, C1 and C2.
WD 140.
No, not that one.
Okay.
So C1 is there, C2 is there.
Okay.
So first we have to do the C1. We have to clean the chain. We have to remove all the black dirt and everything, mud, etc. Everything we have to remove it. After that, we can do the washing. After doing washing everything, so you can apply the lube. After applying lube, you stay for 5 to 10 minutes. Again, if you are not keeping your bike for 5 to 10 minutes, again it will go and stuck to the wheel. Total wheel looks again dirty. You have to clean it again separately with a cloth, and it will take 1 hour because it will stick like that.
There is the biggest challenge to apply.
Road
This is a
step.
good thing.
Yeah.
This is a good thing that we have to clean and route
Yes, sir,
the
yes.
check. It is required also.
Yes.
But the biggest challenge is since the bike doesn't have a center stand,
Yes.
it is practically impossible.
Yes. But for
Yes,
super
practically
bikes, we are not giving the side stand, double stands because we'll go a lot of speed. We'll do speeding a lot. So for that we have paddocks.
So you
if you are
can't carry
making
it,
it,
you can't carry it.
not for carrying. When you are going before a ride inspection is there. So when you are in the home on Sundays, you can half an hour. You can take a half an hour. You can keep it. You can do it for half
See,
an hour.
when you are at home, that's fine. But when you are traveling, and if at all the vehicle is getting punctured as well,
Mhm.
it's a big challenge to do the puncture as well because it doesn't have a center stand.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So maybe you'll have to work on it because center stand is
So
mandatory.
like when it comes to Java motorcycles, the design language is such. If there is nothing a provision where we can add up the center stand. Even if we add it also, the ground clearance issue will start happening.
Okay.
So, but then again, like only the classic motorcycles have an option of putting the center stand. If you take a look at the KTM R15, any sports bike, even if it's a 150cc also, you don't have a center stand.
Yeah, I
So,
understand it. But
carrying a paddock stand is of course advisable, and at the same time, whenever you're cleaning, also before the ride, you'll have to clean in loop.
okay.
And for example, if you're going for a 2000 kilometers ride,
Mhm.
so all you have to do is you just have to lube it. It's not compulsory that you have to clean thoroughly and lube it, because since you have already done it 1000 kilometers before itself, and you probably have completed 1500 kilometers, and now the chain is slightly dirty and it has carried a lot of mud. So what you will do it is basically, you can just ask someone to spray it and you can just roll it.
Roll it.
That's one thing which you can basically do it. You yourself can just load it and just spray it. So even though if you don't spray it also, the actual recommendation is 1000 kilometers.
Oh.
But then again, some people, rare people, they do travel for 3000, 4000 if they have a long ride option. Then in between they can just lube it. It's not compulsory that thorough cleaning is required every time. But thorough cleaning is required when you are basically at the home.
Oh. Okay.
First thing, and second is most important thing, sir, that don't get carried away with the YouTube videos. That WD-40 or rust off, all those things you should not basically use it. There is a purpose for a C1 which is called a clean, and there is a purpose for the lube also which you will have to use it. I mean, it is not that compulsory that you have to purchase it from our end also. You can take any particular brand. It is absolutely your choice and your will. But when you are doing it also, something very important that you will have to see that there are a lot of videos where they say put it in the first gear and just spray. But putting it in the first gear and doing it for the mechanic, it is easy because they have been doing it thousands of vehicles. but for the customer
Customer.
it is new, and
Hmm.
sometimes just in case if your finger is slightly bent inside,